Air Force One is the most recognizable symbol of the United States executive power. Equipped with advanced security and communications capabilities, it symbolizes trust, sensitivity, and strength when carrying the president and their entourage of staff and guests. On board, visitors to Air Force One are treated to luxurious details such as custom-made furniture, beautiful artwork, and other features that reflect the power of the President of the United States. Air Force One is equipped with a wide variety of features that provide comfort and luxury for its passengers. Emblazoned with the words United States of America, the American flag, and the seal of the President of the United States, it is an undeniable presence wherever it flies. Inside the Air Force One, starting at the front of the plane, there is, of course, the cockpit. It's a pretty standard 747 cockpit, but there are a few more bells and whistles than your average commercial jumbo. In front of the cockpit, on the nose of the plane, is a mid-air refueling probe, meaning Air Force One can be topped up with gas to keep it flying for as long as it wants. Behind the cockpit is the crew lounge, where pilots and other crew members can rest. This area is mainly used by flight crew, and there is another lounge downstairs for other support crew on the plane. Altogether, there can be up to 26 crew members working on any one flight. Down below, in the very nose of the plane, is the President's private quarters. This suite includes a bed, sofa, dressing room, and a bathroom with a shower. There is also a small gym, so that he or she can stay sharp. Behind the suite is the President's office. It really is the Oval Office in the sky, with a large desk and room for the President to chat with their advisors and special guests in private. Sometimes the President will address more than just their personal guests from this room too. Following the September 11th attacks, the office was upgraded with the necessary telecommunications equipment to broadcast an address to the nation from 30,000 feet. Behind the office is a full medical suite. Here you will find a defibrillator, blood supplies, and all the equipment necessary to perform emergency first aid on board. It can even function as an operating room. Whenever the President flies, there is always a qualified MD on board, just in case. Along the corridor, there is plane's 2 food preparation galleys that can feed 100 people at a time. Immediately along the corridor past the galley is a small room for senior staffers. Relatively compact, this room has comfortable business class style seats arranged in a circle, and is where the President will have their private chats with important members of their team. Next up is the sizable conference room. 8 executive leather chairs are arranged around a large central table, with additional sofa seating against the walls for aides and other guests. The room is dominated by a large TV screen, which can be used to keep up with the news or to hold video conferences with people on the ground. The conference room often doubles up as a dining room for the President and her guests. Continuing further down the plane, the rooms get more compact and start to resemble something more like we would expect on a commercial aircraft. Behind the office staff room is a guest section of the plane. This looks much more like a commercial aircraft cabin. Next up is a security area for the President's detail to rest, as well as bathrooms for the guests and press on board. Speaking of the press, it might surprise you to know that they don't board the plane up those iconic front steps that we have watched many a president waving from. No, they must board the plane from the back, using a separate set of stairs often unnoticed by the public. From there, they are housed in a pretty average-looking cabin, only getting sight of the President should he or she deem to make an appearance. Security of Air Force One. Air Force One's most important feature is to ensure the President and his staff are as safe as possible during travel. The plane features advanced radar and navigation systems to defend and protect itself from potential threats from the ground or air. An electronic countermeasures system, known as the ANALQ-239, is used on board to detect and jam enemy radars and missiles. It also has heavy armor plating around the plane's chassis, bulletproof windows, multiple layers of Kevlar for added protection, and even contains its oxygen supply in case of a cabin depressurization emergency.